Breaking news out of Michigan, and this mugshot just into our newsroom of a suspect in a series of random shootings overnight in Kalamazoo. Police say the gunman was driving around and opening fire. And ABC's Alex Perez is on the ground and on the story. Alex, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. Authorities are trying to figure out what triggered this rampage. Investigators say the suspect randomly chose his victims and then shot them.
Shots fired. We have one confirmed victim right now.
Overnight, a city gripped with fear after multiple shootings took place across Kalamazoo, Michigan. But now, residents waking up knowing the suspect, Jason Dalton, is in custody. The shooting spree spanning 13 miles at 3 different locations. The first, this parking lot where a woman walking to her car was shot several times as the suspect reportedly drove by in a Chevrolet HHR. In her car, just a few feet away, her terrified children.
This is your worst nightmare, where you have somebody just driving around randomly killing people.
Then the 45-year-old white male allegedly headed to this car dealership, firing off several shots, hitting 2 people. A father and son sitting in their car, later confirmed dead.
When I got the call this evening, I was absolutely shocked by it.
About 5 minutes later, a third crime scene in a Cracker Barrel restaurant parking lot. Again, shots rang out, hitting 2 separate cars filled with people. According to reports, there were 2 other shooting locations at an intersection near the restaurant.
The threat to the public is over. We know this is our suspect. He is in custody.
And investigators now working on a motive. The suspect is expected to face murder charges. Paula?
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the good people of Michigan. Alex, thank you. And we want to bring in right now Jeff Hadley. He's the chief for the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety. First and foremost, Chief Hadley, we want to say our condolences to the people of Kalamazoo. And thank you for joining us this morning. First and foremost, I know that the first attack, there were 3 separate crime scenes. The first attack happened at 6 o'clock. That suspect was then apprehended about 6.5 hours later. Can you give us a sense of what was going on during that 6.5-hour lockdown?
Yes, ma'am. Well, the first event that happened out in the county around 5:30 this evening, it was the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Department. It was their investigation. So they treated that as a single isolated incident, put out suspect information, things of that nature. It wasn't until the second event happened about 10 o'clock yesterday evening. And then subsequently, very quickly thereafter, about 20 to 25 minutes later, the third event, which happened at the Cracker Barrel out in the county, different part of the county, that we were able to kind of string those 3 things together. And the suspect was quickly apprehended in downtown Kalamazoo.
Chief Hadley, the suspect has been named. His name is Jason Dalton. He's 45 years old. He is in custody. But how certain are you that there were no accomplices?
We're fairly certain at this point. Obviously, the investigation continues. We're trying to piece it all together. Obviously, a lot of it doesn't make sense to us or anyone else for that matter. These appear to be completely random acts of violence. None of these victims knew each other, nor did they know the suspect that we know of. And so it's as baffling to us as it is to everyone else.
It does sound completely random. Did this particular suspect, Jason Dalton, did he have any kind of record to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge. He has no criminal history, no involvements with us or any other police agency here in the county that we know of, not in our record system. So this is a complete surprise as far as I'm concerned.
I know it's very early into the investigation. Any sense that this particular individual was mentally unstable?
We don't have any indication of that at this point. Obviously, someone that's going to go out and commit these type of crimes in succession like he did, it obviously calls to question somebody's mental capacities. But as of this time, we don't know of any history with him specifically in terms of him being a mental health consumer.
Going back to the crime scenes, 3 separate crime scenes over a course of about 4.5 hours, 13 miles apart. You truly believe this was completely random?
Truly believe it was completely random.
All right, Chief Hadley, we want to thank you so much for joining us, and our thoughts and prayers to the people in the Kalamazoo area. And best of luck in your investigation.
Thank you.
A horrifying and mystifying series of events there.